Okay.
Okay, so we should be good to go. All right, so what do you hope to get out of the session? Because you've been playing for a while, and you said you've been playing competitively for a while, but
Yes.
respectfully, you're plat.
Yes.
What's the deal?
I know that. I don't know. I feel like I lose motivation after
Mm-hmm.
losing a few games and then
Mm-hmm.
kind of just don't play comp for the rest of the season because I put a lot of weight on comp.
Right. Right. Okay.
And lately I've been like actually doing better at playing comp and having a routine, and I've been like warming up and then just going straight into comp, like no questions asked, trying to get myself to do it, and I've
Uh-huh.
actually climbed since then.
Okay, where are you at
So,
now?
plat 3.
Nice. What changed? What clicked for that to become a habit?
I think the rank decay at the end of the season, I kept thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna go down anyway, so I might as well just play comp
Got
because it's
nothing to
just gonna
lose.
bring me down. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's good to hear. And then I guess honest question for you.
hmm
Your forum discusses this one as well, but what are your goals, short term and long term for Overwatch? Your forum says hit GM and be a starter in your collegiate team. Short term
hmm
improve. Okay, that's pretty vanilla, basic. Okay,
hmm
but are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know do you know what it's going to take like in terms of like commitment and engagement wise to hit the Grandmaster?
Yes.
Okay. Now I wanted to go back to a question or an answer you had for me, which
hmm
was about you put a lot of weight on comp and yet you're plat. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you. I had that issue for a long time. I remember I used to like be really scared to queue into ranked, and everything had to be perfect, and had to feel like I was warmed up, and I had to feel like I was playing well, and I'd be in
hmm
voice and like getting everybody to try and avoid voice and trying to shot call, and everything had to be ready, and then I get so nervous and so upset, and then we won. We won 2 games. So I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop while it's good.
hmm
And I obviously eventually got over that. So why do you think that is? What is there? Have you competed in other stuff before? Is this
I
something
have.
new or okay? What have you competed with before?
I used to play lots of volleyball.
Okay.
And so putting a lot of weight on the games that I played that were competitive was kind of just the thing to do.
Right. Right. Of course. So you know how it's like to compete,
Yes.
and you know how important it is.
hmm
Okay. This is where it gets tricky. Okay. So there's 2 ways that you can look at it, and both ways I think might be helpful. Number one, were you the type of person to get really, really nervous before a volleyball game?
Yes.
Okay. And do you feel like that was a positive or negative effect on your performance?
I think it was a positive effect.
In what way?
It drove me to do my best in every game so that I didn't feel like I regretted anything.
Exactly. It's you feel nervous because you care, and caring
hmm
is what drives you to be the best that you can be. However, do you think potentially that the nerves could make you play with a little bit less confidence? Maybe there's such a thing as too much nerves.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Right. So there's a limit there. And you could even see that how that's affected your play with Overwatch, right? Maybe not
hmm
even your play, but your motivation. Okay, like you said.
Yeah.
Now the other way of looking at it is this. And this is going to sound a little weird, but you'll probably go, "Oh yeah, I guess so." Ranked is not a game. It is not like a match. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
It's not. It's literally just practice. That's all it is. It's literally
Yeah.
running drills. It doesn't matter whatsoever. Now, your collegiate games, maybe you're at a big tournament, those matter a little bit, right? Those
hmm
have a little bit more weight to them. But showing up for ranked is literally like showing up for practice. And if there's nerves for that, that's a big red flag.
Okay.
There's not a single game that matters in ranked ever. It doesn't matter if you're going for rank 1 and top 500, because guess what? What happens if you lose? What happens if you choke?
You can just go again.
Right, exactly. You don't get the chance to do that in your volleyball games, did you?
Yeah.
Right? That was your one and done, and that's why the pressure is there. But in ranked, it doesn't matter. You just re-kill. Or in the worst case scenario, you're like, I gotta go to bed. Well, do it again tomorrow, and again the day
hmm
after that. So the reason why that's so important is because if that's what's preventing you, at least in the past, from getting better, then it's not just a problem with your mentality. It's a complete massive error in your entire way that you're even looking at the game.
hmm
It just doesn't matter. You are fortunate enough, at least with Overwatch, to be able to train without any repercussions whatsoever in terms of won or loss. I mean, people don't even know who you are. They don't know your name. Nobody's gonna be making fun of you. You could drop out of voice. You could drop out of team chat. You can mute this. You can mute that. You could just focus on your play. If you have a lever, it doesn't matter. 2 minutes later, you can leave and re-queue, and depending on how fast the queue is, you're back in 3 minutes later. I mean, people who play Overwatch are extremely fortunate, right? They just get to play and play and play and play and play. Drill, 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 drill. Practice, 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 practice. And then the only things that actually matter are the Boise State games. That's where your mentality you have to kind of keep an eye on your mentality, not get too nervous and keep yourself hyped up and that sort of thing. But it's just a completely flawed way of looking at it. And I eventually I figured that out on my own, but it was honestly by accident. It wasn't anything that I really did, because I just played, and then I stopped caring as much. And then I'm like, oh, I guess it really just doesn't matter anymore. You know, this is just like, I remember even the ranked bum, you know, like the horn blast or whatever, scare me. Like it was so stressful. And now it's just like, it's just whatever, you know, it's might as well be quick play at that point, you know? And that's what you have to kind of consider. You know, do put effort in, do care, but you're caring about like your own personal development, and you're not really caring about winning that game. And that is ironically the best thing you can do, not only for yourself, but it's also probably the best thing you can be doing for your team, rather than getting stressed out over it. So does that kind of make sense, by the way? That was a little bit of a monologue. Yeah. Okay.
No, it makes sense.
That has to be, from what you're describing to me, with the amount of time that you've been playing in this game, and you're still mid, you know, and you have high aspirations. I mean, that's the most important thing you can do, more than anything else that we talk about the rest of the review, is flip that switch, and then everything else will fall into place. Now, here's the question for you. You're probably pretty busy being a college student and all that sort of stuff. So let's phrase it realistically. What is your training schedule likely to be? Do you hope to be realistically going to be moving forward on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis?
I always try and play.
I'm so sorry. I'm interjecting again. Let's not aim for GM with this. Let's aim for Diamond or Masters with this.
Okay. Yeah. I try and play at least an hour a day.
Okay.
But sometimes I can't, and then on weekends I always try to play at least 2 to 3 hours. Okay.
And is that Saturday, Sunday, or Friday as well?
Friday as well.
Okay. And then so 2 to 3 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's aim for about an hour, not always an hour. Okay.
Yes. And
then hero pool right now is Kiriko, Mercy, Ana still?
Yeah, and probably Baptiste.
Okay. Let's flatter you a little bit. Okay. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're playing 3 hours. We're aiming for the upper end. Okay. 9 hours. And you're gonna play 4 hours from Monday through Thursday. So that's gonna be 13
Not
hours.
Not including practice.
Not okay. Well, there you go. Fill me in on practice, please.
I do 5 hours of practice on Tuesday and 5 hours on Thursday. Okay. So 10 hours.
Gosh, what do you do?
Scrims. I just watch them play.
Or you just watch them play for 5 hours?
Yep.
Is there a VOD review as well?
Yeah.
Who's your coach?
Dr. Haskell.
Okay. Do you ever play any maps?
No.
What have you learned in the past week?
In the past week? I mean, I listen to a lot of comms, so that helps me know things I should be looking out for. And then I watch what our Kiriko player on the team play Kiriko, so I can learn from him and get better.
Okay. I need to talk with your coach. Can you put their Discord tag in my DMs, please?
Yeah.
Because I would really like for you to use that time more constructively.
Yeah, I've been starting to play comp during that time, but only very recently.
Is that an option that's been given to you, or you've just recently taken up?
I took it up like a week ago, and then my coach was like, "Yeah, you should do that."
Okay, well then never mind. Then I don't need to contact them. Okay. That needs to happen. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how you do it. I would zone out. I would want to weep if I had to sit there. I mean, it's hard enough as a coach when you're actually trying to pay attention, but oh my days, 5 hours. Like, you have my respect, first off, for surviving this long and for having that competitive drive to keep you engaged as long as you have. But the problem with that is you have to like really look at that and be like, is that really what's going to get me to be a starter position on Boise State?
Yeah.
No, it's just not. You know, you might learn a little bit, but I doubt at this point knowledge is probably, I don't feel like knowledge is a problem with you, right? You're probably pretty smart. You already have a pretty good idea. You're just not very good at the game. You and I are both in the same boat, right? I have the excuse of being a coach. You've got no excuse. Well, you have the excuse of that, the 10 hours, like holy smokes, right? So now the funny thing is here is you would 5 hours is a long time. So here's well, you tell me what do you think optimally would you be doing on those days? Let's give yourself a little bit of a guideline. You tell me.
Like if I were playing or
Sure. How do you use that time?
I usually like to warm up with
Okay.
the Vaxta code
Okay.
for like 15 minutes.
Sure.
And then I just usually just go straight to comp.
Okay.
So I'd probably just play comp the whole time.
Yeah, sure. Now, what's the what do you have to be careful about with 5 hours of essentially ranked in a row?
Getting tired, tilting.
Losing intensity, right. Like even if you were to aim for Grandmaster here, 5 hours of ranked per day is definitely in the higher end. So what I would do is, you know what? Screw it. You're smart enough. You tell me what should you do.
Probably take a break.
What kind of a break? How long? How often?
Maybe like a 15-minute break at like 2 hours and then at like 4 hours.
Yeah. And then maybe just call it after that, you know, maybe sit in for a map or two, just kind of chill, you know? Yeah. I think that's it. Or if you were to requeue after that 4 hour mark, then you just play a game or two for fun, play some quick play. You get your challenges, get your battle pass, you know, pay Lord Blizzard, something like that. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a definitely a good structure right there. So there you go. I mean, you nailed it right there, and you have a lot of free time now to be able to kind of capitalize off of that. Now, what that's going to leave is 2 days on the lower end, right? Now, that's not a big problem as long as you check the bare minimums. So you're going to hit the hour mark. We want you to hit the hour mark, please, whenever you possibly can, okay? So then what's that going to look like? Be as efficient as you can.
Yeah, probably a very quick warm-up on those days, and then just like 2 or 3 games of comp.
Yep, there you go. Perfect. Now, one other red flag we have here. So even if we give you in the 4 hours of ranked play, 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2, right? 12. And then you're hitting close to 20 hours, which is a lot of rank. But I still wouldn't love for you to be smashing in more than 3 heroes in your pool. I know you said you liked BAP, and I think that's great, but 4 heroes is pushing it even for like 18, 19 hours of rank. So I think 3 is probably a little better, especially for right now. And then as the meta shifts or as your tastes change, maybe you're sick and tired of Kiriko or Mercy or Ana or BAP or whatever, you can drop one and pick another one up whenever you like. So I guess that's my question for you. And maybe you don't know the answer right now. What do you think those 3 heroes are going to be for you?
Probably Kiriko on a BAP.
Okay, sounds good.
I used to play a lot of Mercy. I don't very much anymore.
Sounds good.
Since
Why not?
Overwatch 2. I didn't like the changes that they made to her, and even before Overwatch 2, I was already playing Baptiste a lot.
Yep. Okay.
So
okay, sounds good. And obviously those heroes, there's enough flexibility with those heroes for each situation, right? So you have some autonomy with how you want to play. So what you should try and aim for is on your 2 hours day, try and play, or your 1 hour day, try and play 1 game of each if possible. If not a big deal. On your 4 hours day, what are we aiming for?
Probably each hero for like an hour.
Yeah, right, exactly. At least 3 games each, right?
Yeah.
And then on your 3 hour days, similar kind of a mindset, right? As close as you can. Like try and be very specific, you know, like this is again, like it's the practice mindset we come back to, right? Don't just be like, oh, well, I want to win this game. No. I need, shoot, I've not played any BAP today and we're 2 hours in. I need to get a BAP game. First game that I feel like I can play BAP reasonably, or then I'm going to pick it, you know? And heck, even if it doesn't feel like the perfect hero pick, it doesn't matter. You're trying to figure it out. Figure out the play style. Figure out how you'd make it work in that situation. Like that's a great learning opportunity, not just for like the hero, but also like the game as a whole. You know, finding ways to make unorthodox things work is a great thing to do. Okay, so Warm up is probably fine. I will say, especially for support players, try hard FFA is really helpful if you can throw that in there as well. For as part of your warm up, just to get better at dueling people, because you're going to be dueling Genji, Tracers, Cassis, and so on.
Yeah.
And then the other thing as well, we talked specifically about the 15-minute break at the 4-hour period. That's great. I would go so far to recommend while you're in queue, take like literally 30 seconds to get up, stand up, walk, and then sit back down. Your teammate's probably gonna think you're cracked out of your brain, but getting your eyes off the screen will give you just a little bit more energy when going into the next game. And that's like, I know the queues are short probably, but something that I would try to leverage as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions so far, by the way?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm excited though. This is good. I think this is really gonna help you.
Yeah, I was very excited about it.
Okay. You notice how it's like always like these super like basic stuff that helps though, you know?
Yes.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
We haven't even got to the game, but like I'm telling you, this stuff helps. Okay. Looking through your form here. Prove yourself as the only girl on the team, but I want to also prove myself that you can do hard things. Well, you're gonna do that. I mean, honestly, you've already proven yourself that you can do hard things. Like sitting, like you've just for me, you just have to prove. I'm trying to think how to phrase this. You're sitting through 10 hours a week of sheer boredom. That's pretty hard. You know, that's a lot harder than playing ranked. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just your perception of what's hard is kind of goofy. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Sleep is definitely on the lower end. I know you're probably pretty busy, but I would go as far to say as like 7.5 or 8, if that's possible, would be awesome, especially for the amount of training and time that you're putting in. But yeah. Okay. Well, last question for you, unless you've got anything else here. So, what do you feel is holding you back from improving? And you say mechanics and decision making. Let's start with mechanics. What about mechanics?
I feel like I tunnel vision a lot, and then don't realize things are happening behind me or on the sides of me.
Yeah.
So I think changing that to where I can look around more and be more aware of my surroundings is.
But that's not really mechanics, is it? Or do you define it as mechanics? It's like simply being able to move your camera.
Well, I don't know, I guess.
Okay. Oh, you know, actually, I have a question for you. So this is kind of going back in time, but I think this is pretty important before we move on. Before we put your nose on the grindstone with what was optimal or what is optimal, where are you at right now? You said recently you've been playing a little bit more. What's it been looking like? Be honest with me.
I've been playing a lot more comp, like 3 a day for the past week.
Okay.
And since the ranked reset, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've climbed through all of gold again, back to plat, and then got to plat 3. So
okay, so 3 games a day?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about a pretty massive increase in playtime. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be really cautious, okay?
Okay.
And I also want you to remember that what we're essentially doing is we're like tripling. Like we're really putting the foot on the gas right now, which is good, which is great. But if you feel like burned out or tired or like you feel like you're losing focus, remember the intensity is the most important thing. And any sort of improvement from what you're doing right now, I mean, you already have improved, right? Your schedule that you're doing right now is already better. Let's just see if we can bump it up. So all this talk about like, let's do 4 hours here and 3 hours here. Listen, if that 4 hours is 3 and that 3 hours is 2 and that hour is 45 minutes, that's still improvement, yes? And not only improvement, significant improvement. Remember, we're not aiming for GM right now. We're aiming for Diamond. And then we aim for Masters, right? So what you'll do is you train like a Diamond or you train like a Masters player, and then you decide if you still enjoy your life or if you hate yourself because it's too much Overwatch, and then we reevaluate our goals. That's what it is. I mean, that's what I did with Overwatch League, right? So I slowly worked my way up to Overwatch League hours and Overwatch League situation where I would have to move and, you know, live remotely and do this and that, and I realized, I hate this, you know? And so then I got my goal and I did what I wanted to do, but then I didn't stick around, and there's no shame in that. So for you, you might get there and be like, I don't want to train like a GM player. But let's just do this one step at a time. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's find out for real. Let's not dream about it. Let's actually test it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to jump all the way to training like a pro athlete in the first day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just do a little bit better than where you're at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, coming back to what do you feel is holding back from improving mechanics, you described general awareness. That is something that I will keep in mind for the review, but would you define mechanics as still being something that you need to improve on?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And what are you doing to improve that?
I've
Actually,
been
what are you
aim
doing to
training.
improve that now that you know you know?
I think I'll definitely continue aim training. I'll do more try hard
Sure.
FFA.
And you're playing a lot more ranked too,
Yes.
right? That's about the best thing that you can do. Okay. And then
Mm-hmm.
the last thing you said is what are you holding back from improving? Decision making. What do you mean by
Mm-hmm.
that?
I when I watch like videos and stuff, there's a lot of coaches and people saying like you can do more than one thing at a time. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be stuck
Mm-hmm.
doing, like for Kiriko, a lot of time it's only healing or only damaging. And I
Right.
feel like decision making for me, like when I should use the Suzu, when I should
Uh-huh.
use the nade on Ana, when I should use my immortality on Baptiste, or when I should use my ult on any hero, I feel like I have a hard time deciding when I
Sure.
need to do those specific things.
Sure.
So,
Sure. Let me ask you a question. When you first picked up Mercy,
mhm.
when a Winston dove you, was there a little bit of a moment of panic when you
Yeah,
first started playing? Right. And then as you improved, what would happen?
fly away.
Right. And you didn't even have to think about that, did you?
Hmm.
It just happened. That's
Yeah.
kind of what we want to happen. When you're talking about thinking about more than one thing, actually, truly, your ability to think about more than one thing doesn't really improve. What
Okay.
you're able to process without consciously thinking is what improves.
Gotcha.
So for you, it's like, oh, I need to get smarter. Well, no, you just need to kind of build up your autopilot resource to
Hmm.
where it's able to kind of process things without thinking as much. Because really, truly, you can only think about one thing at a time. And that's why we have these reviews, so that we can give you what that one thing should be. And so that autopilot just expands and expands and expands and expands and so on. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Even pros can only think about one thing at a time. There's just a whole lot more than you that they're not even thinking about. That's just
Hmm.
happening, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
I don't.
Okay, let's get this replay code. Is this Kiriko?
Yes.
Okay, Junker Town. I'll start streaming in just a moment, and this is technically platinum.
Hmm.
Okay. Why do you like Kiriko?
I feel like she's the easiest to have an impact with right now.
Okay.
Um, and I like being able to do damage and also
Mm-hmm.
support the team. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I think she's fun.
Okay, fair enough. That was the answer I was looking for. Because it's easiest to have impact. My internal alarm bells are going off. But I guess hey, if you like the hero, roll with it. Okay, so then let's go on to the next question, which is, what is the hero good at? You kind of already elaborated on that a little bit, but elaborate further.
um, she has lots of opportunity to do damage. She's very mobile.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something I like about her that I like more about Bapinana is that she's a lot more versatile with her mobility.
Sure. How do you leverage
So
that?
sometimes I go on small flanks, try and
Mm-hmm.
pick out duels, and then come back to my team.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. How does that help your team?
I think being able to do a little bit of damage, even if I don't get a kill or anything, it just gives us a small advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, okay, makes sense. I mean, that's definitely where her strength lies in comparison to the rest of the support. So let's
mhm,
take a look. So what I'd like to do is kind of go at this with like a blank slate and
mhm,
just kind of react to what we see and then create a hierarchy list as we go through the VOD because we have 21 minutes, right? So there should be
yeah,
plenty of time to have a general idea of like what the biggest things are to improve.
okay,
I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Those
yeah,
questions might be phrased in a passive-aggressive manner to put you on the back foot. That's on purpose.
okay,
However, it
okay,
doesn't necessarily mean that what you're doing is the wrong thing. I just want you to consider each situation objectively and tell me what you think. Sound good?
yeah,
Okay. Now let me ask you a very odd question. How much healing do you think you're going to be doing this match?
um, upwards of 18,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You gave me a number. I wasn't looking for a number. I was asking for just a gut adjective, you know? Lot.
Oh.
Or not an adjective, but how much? A lot, a little, something like that.
Yeah. Uh, a a lot.
Why do you think that is?
Because we don't have a shield
Okay.
tank. We just have, and this is a very open map, so
Sure.
we're just gonna all be taking lots of damage.
Sure. Now here's my initial gut instinct. I see you with playing with a Moira. You can put out a lot of healing, right?
Mm-hmm. So
my gut instinct is, well, you probably don't need to heal that much because she's gonna be able to handle that. But then you know what? I'm not sure that my gut instinct is right because we don't really know what your Moira's gonna do we?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think you could do?
Probably just heal and then see where Moira's at, and if she's doing a lot, then I can try and do a little more damage.
Right. Not only you can, but you should. You see,
Okay.
one of the things that you have to understand with support, and you're aware of this, but just a good reminder, is that your job as a support is to put out as much pressure as you possibly can, either indirectly through healing somebody who does pressure, or by actually doing pressure yourself. And you will lose games when the enemy supports do more pressure than you. That's why, you know, heal botting is bad, because it's not nearly an efficient use of your resources at all. So for you, it's not just, oh, well, I have the opportunity to do this. I can't. You have to. You have to. Your job is to improve, is to maximize, min-max every little bit of pressure that you can possibly squeeze out. And then our job here is to find out where that pressure can be. And the reason why that's important is because that applies to BAP, applies to Ana, applies to Mercy even. You have to maximize. If for example, if you damage boost just a little less than the enemy Mercy is doing more pressure than you, right? It's that simple,
yes.
Right? If you miss an opportunity to heal 2 or 3 times and a target dies on Mercy, you've given up pressure. You've choked, right? If you go in for a res when you shouldn't have and you die, there's your pressure downtime. If you waste Valk or you don't use Valk and you lose the fight because you could have used it, there's your pressure. And the same thing with Kiriko. It's about maximizing your pressure. So let's we really want to aim for not perfect play, but we have to question every detail, because, oh, could we have hit that shot? Or were we shooting the right target? Or were we healing the right target? Could we have been positioned to more offensively? Or should we have died there? It's about maximize. Everything has to be done better. Okay, let's see. Because you can feel like you're doing a lot, right? Just healing the tank, and why are we not winning, you know? But that's not a good mindset. Like, you see a potential problem here. You're hitting some shots, right? And you're doing some healing. But I'm going to ask you a question. Could you be doing more impactful damaging shots? Could you be healing more or helping somebody more? What do you think?
Yeah.
How?
I could.
Where?
I could have got pushed up with my team here and gotten an off angle and maybe seen the Ana on the side alone.
Where?
Kind of where the Ana is, by that fence over there.
You could have been like here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even look at the angle that you have from here on the Torb and the Torb turret right through your Moira. You see that? That's more impactful and easier to hit than spamming shots on a soldier or a Kiriko across the map, or even a Zarya, right? More return on investment here, right?
Yeah.
See, you know what you're talking about. Just gonna be about executing that. Now, if you hit the shots on that Kiriko, that's good pressure. So maybe too far. I do like the cover usage though. So if you're gonna apply those more aggressive angles, you would need to utilize the same discipline that you have with cover from here.
Okay.
Because that was really good. The chances of you dying there were next to none. And I like that. Probably didn't need to Suzu that one. I think she was behind cover, but that's okay. Just something to keep an eye on. She's in. So that would be a situation right there where theoretically you could have TP'd in and Suzu'd. Definitely risky, but you're up 1, you're up 2, and you have the Suzu to keep yourself alive. Maybe you could have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
But you definitely can't TP there without Suzu. So it's like a mistake previously meant that you were not able to do exactly what you might have wanted to do later on. Look at you. You're on the flank. Let's go. Keep peeking here if you want. Definitely not necessary.
Okay.
So you tell me why. I can think of
There's
three reasons
nobody
why. Three
really
reasons
there.
why. Give me all three. Give me a second. We'll get to where we actually use it. Actually, let's go to your POV, because you're the one that made the decision, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
one reason why this is not good.
She wasn't very low.
Okay, two reasons why
And
this was
she was getting cover behind the cart.
Three reasons
and
why.
Distance. And then
This is the trickiest one, but it's
I'm
also
leaving my Torb back there.
True, true. Maybe there's four reasons why. Okay, because there's still a third yet. Let me ask you a question. What does Moira have?
Fade.
Has she used Fade?
Not that I saw.
Okay. It's an important question to answer, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about thinking about one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Which one of those do you think is the most important skill to improve? Tracking a cooldown, tracking the person's positioning, tracking their HP. What do you think?
I think tracking their positioning.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. A little close. Here's another thing, okay? So if you want to get really fancy, I'm throwing a lot at you because you can handle it. All right, watch this. Oh, this is not the right. This is 8:20 seconds. That's not correct. My bad. Okay. So you tell me what the issue is here besides your mechanics just aren't that good. Ready? And play. Oh, close. Oh, close. Oh, that was bad. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh! What were the issue with the first couple of shots, and especially the ones towards the end?
I was moving a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really helping my case, and she was really far, so I don't think I needed to move as much as I did.
Sure,
There's really
sure,
nobody
sure,
else that could have
sure,
hit me.
sure. So you're digging really deep, okay? Which I respect, because the movement is definitely a factor there. But have you ever heard of the term trigger discipline?
Yes.
Okay. I think you could have had more trigger discipline.
Gotcha.
I understand your rate of fire is high, but one of the worst things that you can do is tape down your mouse one button. Unless you're like spamming on an angle and just hoping that somebody walks into it, you're not doing that here. You're actually dueling somebody. Take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Take a second. You know what I'm saying? Take a split second, aim your shots, make it happen. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of things we're talking about already. More aggressive positioning, tracking your cooldowns, HP, tracking positioning as a whole, trigger discipline. And ultimately, I want you to, I guess, for lack of a better term, help me out.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we go through the VOD, you'll be able to tell me, oh yeah, I think that one stands out to me a lot. Or I do know that I make that mistake a lot. So you can help me prioritize which one is more important. Nice. See, this is good. This is good. This is good. Your Junker Queen is just taping the button down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She cannot be stopped. Oh. Nice pocket, by the way.
Thank you.
Reasonable ult. Okay, well that's something.
That's
Weird. That's something, I guess. I forget that that's still a thing. Okay, this has been good. Now let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you TP to your Torbjorn?
No.
Why not?
Because there's two people on him and he's really low, and I don't want to risk my life.
Right, I love the first thing you said, because there's two people on him, it's over. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If this was just a Mei instead of the Orisa, would you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably go.
I probably would go too. Okay? Nice. You're definitely thinking about the right things. Nice, a little bit of aggression here. Get her, get her, get her, get her. Tell me what the issue is here.
I
Look familiar?
was shooting, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I do this a lot.
yeah, it's panic. It's a little bit of the old Overwatch 1 panic till, because like this she's gonna freeze me, you know, but like no, just
Yeah.
chill. Like she you're good. It's actually a lot easier for her to aim than it is for you. So it's actually more important. It's like aiming versus a Moira, like a Moira 1v1. You could just stand still almost and just hit your shots. Yeah.
Okay.
But either way, we'd want you to be a little more patient.
Okay.
Nice. So you survived, so obviously it's perfect. He's gonna oh, I guess you're not. I'm for sure May would. Okay. He's coming from spawn. He's probably full HP. You know what that is? This is actually really funny. Whenever I see lower ranked players making mistakes like this, or even mid ranked players, or even okay, honestly, all right, moment of honesty. Even when I make mistakes like these,
Yeah.
right? You know why I make mistakes like these? Maybe it's just me. It's a little bit of stress.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking straight. I'm a little bit panicked and a little bit frantic. And so whenever you see these really choked, stupid, like, why did I just heal my Reinhardt coming from spawn? It's because there's a lot of stuff happening and I'm kind of freaking out right now. So what's the solution to that? We kind of talked about that earlier, right?
Taking breaks,
playing more.
Yeah.
You know, and getting in the right mindset, understanding this is just practice. It doesn't really matter. And then once you're in the right mindset, when you see something like this happen, just laugh, you know, and keep playing, you know. It happens. Not a big deal. Ooh. Nice. Suzu now. A little early.
Okay.
Just a little early, I think. You might have actually got it perfectly, but I'm not sure. Ooh, actually, I don't know. You're already low. Ooh. Let's see. When did you do it? I want the frame. Actually, I actually don't think it was early because she shot you a lot before, right? So she would have killed you. Yeah, see, 119. Yeah, if she pulled it there, you're dead. Yeah, so nice. Normally, if you're full HP when she comes in, you can wait like a quarter of a second longer because technically, if she just waited, you would have died right here. But you needed to do it earlier, otherwise you would have died. That's a timing that's just good to practice.
Yeah.
Same thing with trigger discipline there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. There's not a lot of healing to do right now, so get out here, ego this Kiriko. I get it.
Okay.
But like right here,
yeah.
Come on, you're better than that. You've already proven to me that you're better than that. You've shown your mechanics are better than that. But this is not a good representation of your mechanics. Now, normally when you're playing Kiriko, let me ask you a question. What are the strengths of Kiriko? We talked about this at the very start of the VOD, right?
Yeah. The strengths are she does pretty good healing, pretty good damage, and she has lots of mobility.
And how do you leverage that right now? Kind of rough, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say maybe taking a different position.
Here's a question for you. What about taking some pot shots here?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Now, here's my real answer. I don't think what you're doing is bad. Because nobody in your team is taking a flank or an angle. If they were, I would want you to assist them, you know?
Yeah.
But they're not. So either you need to have enough confidence in the situation to be like, I can take an off angle myself and distract, maybe get a pick, and then TP out. Or if you're not comfortable doing that, I feel like it's probably a feed because, like, let's say they're on a tracer or something like that.
Yeah.
This is fine. This is fine. I just want to make sure that you're doing whatever you're doing right now as best as you possibly can. So don't sweat it too much because nobody. But basically, my advice is look for when your teams are taking an angle or your teammates are taking an angle and try and assist them. Nobody in your team is, so don't worry about it. But either then yourself take an angle or just stick with your team and be the best heal bot / damage bot in existence. Now, you coach yourself.
Suzu is unnecessary.
Why?
Because he's behind cover.
Right. It's kind of funny because I was like, oh, the HP thing was probably what I would prioritize, like tracking your teammates' HP over their positioning. But you said positioning. So I was like, okay, whatever. But you know what? You're right. Because this is happening more often than the HP thing, isn't it? Because technically he is critical here, but he's safe. Technically that Ashe previously on first point was critical, but she was safe, right? So you're 100% right. This is definitely what needs to be practiced. Even your Ryan is expecting the Bastion to push. Ooh! And there you go. Right? That's it right there. What's the mistake here? We can blame, you could have TP'd away, or I could have been positioned. Well, you didn't have Suzu.
Yeah.
You didn't have Suzu. Okay. That being said, Bastion ult timing was really good. So tired of seeing Bastion's ult pre-fight. Okay, let's now, this is where we can start to utilize this mobility a little bit better than this. There's really no excuse for this. Because is any of your teammates taking off angles right now? Well, no. But let me ask you a question. What do you think about this?
Good.
Maybe something to try, you know? Maybe something to try. I know you're about to ult here, so maybe that's probably why you're behind your team, but something to consider. Okay? My only problem with this is what?
The Suzu.
Well, no, because I think you would have died. Which kind of goes back to my only problem here. Look at where you're at.
In a very dangerous position.
Right. Even though you could Suzu into this, like, it's not just the dangerous position, it's the dangerous position that's going to continue even now. Like you want it, you're way out in the open here. You need cover. So little bit risky. Oh gosh. You'd definitely be weaving some shots in there. Especially with the new fire rate, right? So there's always going to be downtime, so you lose nothing. Nice. Okay, so really not too bad. Not too bad. What are you seeing so far? All right, what are the main takeaways so far?
I need to slow down and think about what I'm aiming at or what I'm doing when I'm trying to shoot things.
Right.
I need to take more angles. And then pressure the enemy team with those angles.
Okay, sounds good. Bastion's like, now, was that Suzu necessary? Let's look at it strictly from the positioning standpoint, right? Because that's what we wanted to practice. Right?
Yeah, I saw that my Moira was low, but I didn't see her fade out, so...
Okay, but that's a cooldown.
Yeah.
Was her positioning safe?
No.
Okay, so we're going to cut you some slack? Yeah, I think so. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you it was a good Suzu, but I'm also not going to tell you that it was a bad Suzu either.
Yeah.
It was a level up from what we've done previously.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Same thing here again. Like, you're doing fine here, but I wonder if, you know, take some pot shots, take some heal. Now, it's going to expose you a little bit, so you do need to be careful, but just something to consider. And then obviously, if we go back to your awareness, which is one of the things you were talking about, look for your Ashe to take an angle.
Yeah.
Look for your Symmetrics to take an angle. Because the problem with doing this is it's not so much that, it's necessarily bad, but I wonder if you're even thinking about where your DPS are right now. You know?
Yeah.
There you go. You know? There's the Suzu. Right. Why is this a mistake?
Because it hit nobody.
Right,
it wasn't really anything.
Now, let me ask you a question. Where could you be right now?
I could be a little closer to them to hit shots from above them.
Could, but that's going to get close to Ramattra Lucio. Maybe not the best. Look at your DPS.
I could be with my sim.
You see?
Yeah.
You see? So when we're talking about angle, it's actually not just like, taking a hard flank. What about this? What about your sight lines for this? Good healing, right? Pretty good damage too, right?
Yeah.
You can see just a hunk of red or blue, I guess, in this case, and just mash your mouse button at head
Yeah.
height. You know? Something to consider.
Okay.
There you go. Good shots. Nice! Oh, you wish you had Suzu now.
Mm-hmm.
This fight's won if you have Suzu. Nice. Positioning, right?
Yeah.
Critical. Standing out in the open. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. We win this, though. Well. Maybe.
Do something.
Yeah. Now, what do you think?
I didn't need Suzu
Why?
because there's like not much threatening him. I could have healed him faster.
Think about strictly from positioning standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe, probably
Yeah.
okay. Probably okay. Not the worst Suzu because he's definitely a little bit in the open, but probably not
Yeah.
necessary. All right. Okay. Now again, you've seen your Moira, right? What's she been doing this entire VOD?
Healing.
Right. So where should you be? First off, probably helping your Ryan. Yes.
Yeah.
But at some point here, what do you want to be doing?
Probably if one of my DPS is somewhere with them, or just sitting and
You're playing for
taking
yourself.
damage or-
Right.
Yeah.
Right. A little bit goofy. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie
I
to you.
tried to do it straight down main, and then it didn't. But it's okay.
The funny thing is you get you sue your Ryan, but you're the one in danger. Like, you're the one standing out
Yeah.
in the open here. Just something to work at. Oh, goodbye. Yeah, just positioning, right? Just a little bit better use of cover, and I think you're good to go. But not a big deal.
We've got this.
Okay, moving on. Giving me headaches with the 2x speed. It was funny the other day, we had a review that ran way over. So I had
Yeah.
to catch up on one hero they wanted coaching on. So we watched like 10 minutes of footage at 2x speed. And I was just like rap godding it. It was funny. We had a good time. Now you're going to notice, especially in lower ranks, that this is going to be more prevalent. It's funny because lower ranks think that people don't group up in their ranks, but actually lower ranks people group up way more. And you can even see it like right here. Everybody's sitting on the floor. Nobody's taking an off angle outside of your Ashe. But as you start to improve, you're going to need to be more aware of stuff like this. Like now, right now, let me ask you a question. Should you be with your Ashe right now?
Yes.
Why?
Because she's in a better position, and
Why is it better?
because it has cover, and it's a little farther away than their team.
Do you always want to be farther away from their team?
Not always.
Okay. So why do you want to be farther away from their team right now?
Because they have like a Bastion and Ramatra.
Sure. That's very fair. What comp would you not want to be further away from?
I mean, I guess I would still want to be far away from like a Ryan or
Sure.
like a Reaper, but maybe not as far.
Sure. What about like a Widowmaker? Or Zed?
I want to be pretty up close with a Widowmaker, probably.
Right. Okay. Something to consider. Now your Ashe is in an exactly aggressive position, but I
Yeah.
don't know. And you didn't even know where to go. Because you didn't know where your Ashe was. She's still there. Right? Yep. There's your escape route.
Yeah.
What did you Suzu? Oh dear. Oh dear. Better cover usage would have meant that you weren't pressured into doing this, but obviously objectively looking back, nobody was really at risk here. Yeah, not great. So, okay. So Suzu is definitely slowly rising towards the top of priorities for me anyway. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just Suzu, but what skill specifically with Suzu?
Timing it or just having it like not using it when I don't need it, and then
how do you
using
how do you practice that
having
skill?
it. Just playing more,
Okay.
using it less.
How about tracking your teammates, but like being more aware or alert, putting more attention onto your teammates' positioning and deciding whether to use it accordingly?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what you were saying earlier. And I think that's important because the thing I don't want to do is just say, practice your Suzus. It's not like basketball, practice your layups or practice your shots. It's more about practice your hand position so the shot goes in more. Practice your awareness of your teammates' positioning so you know when a Suzu is necessary and when it's not. That's what really needs to be practiced with you. Not just generic Suzu. That's so lame and it's not really, doesn't give you any direction. Okay. I mean, this is kind of cute, right? A lot of supports. Could Zenyatta do this safely?
No.
Not really, no. And that's where we're leveraging our mobility. I would just go so far as to stay with Symmetra. I mean, it's not a very good sightline, so that's definitely a downside. But
yeah,
I don't know. But I can also see why you wouldn't want to stay because it feels a little too close, right? So it's fine. It's totally up to you. Good Suzu. See people critical, standing out in the open. The Suzu doesn't quite hit exactly where you want it to hit, but it does hit. So if this doesn't work out, I'm still happy with the intention. Scary. You're feeling pressure, so I'm expecting a Suzu. Ooh, look at, oh, I'm so proud. This is good. This is really good. This is really good. Don't feel bad about this. Obviously, the assassination needed to happen quickly. You kind of got one shot, actually. Grenaded and cast shot at the same time, so you didn't have a chance to use it. But this is fine. Again, like, what support could do this? Because you're going to go in, you're going to secure the kill, win the fight, and then TP out for safety. Don't feel bad about this. This is good. We love the stress testing. We love the guts,
Oh. That was completely unnecessary.
Was that a fat finger?
Probably.
All right, we can live with that. Like, for example.
Can't live with it now.
Right. This is, I like this. Like, this is, nobody in his team could help him. And if he had Suzu here, I think I would be very confident taking this duel. But bye. We're not gonna even get her ult off, are we? Oh no. Absolute tragedy. Okay, let's watch a little bit more. So, from our last pause point, which happened on defense last time, what has been added to the list, or has there been nothing added to the list? Stuff has just been reinforced. What are our priorities looking like right now?
I need to keep track of my DPS's positions more.
Yep.
And same things with the trigger discipline when I'm help, and being able to Suzu correctly. And
Right. And you see how all those things have more to do with like where you're putting your attention?
Yes.
And it's very specific things to practice. And that's what we want. That's good. Okay, that's like a nice little 3 tripod of things to work on. Let's keep going. Careful. Oh dear. And the funny thing is, by the way, with DPS positions and the keeping track of your DPS positionings, keeping track of your DPS positions in relation to Suzu, trigger discipline, that is all applicable to Batista and Ana as well. So, good skills to build as a support player, period.
Yeah.
You just missed it.
She got up.
Well, you just completely missed it. You completely missed it. The Suzu was probably reasonable, actually. You just missed it. Because positioning, right, was out in the open and slept. Totally fine. Just don't miss it. Oh, you cracked. Be careful though. You did have Suzu though, right? That's a little, you have to be a little bit because he stickies you. You know. But yeah, that was good. Again, what support can do that? Also, positioning. Probably not necessary. Uh-oh. Get him. Yeah! Turn on. Nice.
I thought she was leaving me.
That's fine. Positioning?
She was not really in the open that much at all.
Kind of. She kind of was. The funny thing is that I would rather see this than what we saw earlier. Because she's fortified, she's full HP. This Suzu is honestly really stupid. But technically she's staying out in the open, so you get a little bit of slack. Right? So, by the letter of the law...
I just heard him do the big punchy thing, so...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that Suzu wasn't good for other reasons, but for what we're focusing on, whatever. Please? Oh, the pixel. Perfect. Nice. Terrifying.
It was terrifying.
Goodbye.
My Arisa was like, we should go in, and I was like,
yeah, we should not. We should not. Let's go. One more fight, and then we will accumulate all of our knowledge. Use it. Totally fine. You're only up one. They're using ult still. Over time, you know, win it. Okay, so I know we've said this multiple times, but finally wrap it up in a tidy little bow, and I'm going to type it in your channel. What needs to be practiced?
Yes. Suzu usage, DPS positions.
What is now then Suzu usage in regards to what? What's the skill that needs to be practiced? What's up?
Using it when my team in the middle of nowhere and has no like where to go.
Okay, next.
DPS positions, like if I can flank with them or help them in any way, or get out of a situation that I'm in.
Yep.
And trigger discipline.
Okay.
And to not freak out when I'm put in a duel situation.
Those are all three things that you can practice frequently. Yep. Which is what we want. Okay? And then for training, what needs to be done? First half of the review.
Play more comp. And
kind of mindset are you in?
I need to just be in the mindset that it's practice. No, it's a game. It's practice.
Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Okay. Lots to work on. Keep me updated. If you do have any questions, just my DMs are always open, so just shoot to me anytime. And also, the replay code rule for students. So if you have a replay code of Kiriko, BAP, Ana, whatever, shoot it to me next week, month, whenever you'd like, with 3 or 4 timestamps, and I'll give you some follow-up feedback. So maybe some follow-up on Kiriko, maybe a little bit of BAP stuff. Just shoot it to me, and I'll get back to you within a day or two. Sound good?
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Good luck. Keep me in touch with how stuff is going, all right?
All right. Yeah,
and
thank you so much.
I will send you the